Yo, good neighbors, what's going on? It's Phil. The mattress is behind me because Alex Sarabia and his brother were here, and they left. Unfortunately, it was a great visit with them. They're great guys, and I have the great privilege of representing Alex as an artist. So that's why that's there. If you hear the weird noise in the background, that's because of bugs out in the hot yard. Um, Okay, so I'm gonna try not to ramble and go all over the place because I have things I want to talk about. Hey, Lorenz, how are you? Um, and I'm gonna try to stay focused and not be like an ADD individual. But as you all know, I apparently have a reputation of hey, there's a kitten. So I have a reputation of no, thank you, sweetie, of being negative with my posts or whatever. George, what's up? Christina, hey, Victor, what's going on? Greg, what's going on? So apparently I have a reputation of being putting up a lot of negative posts, um, and I want to address that and a few other things. Before we get into the negative post thing, I want to explain to somebody something. Some people, I'm reactive to things, not proactive to things. I never go after anyone. I never try to hurt anyone. And I ignore a lot of jerky people. You can call me a name. I don't care. I get weirdos in my DMs, just like most of you do. They say stupid crap or whatever. That's fine. What I get upset about and I feel the need to address is when you defame me, on and my business, when you try to hurt my business, when you try to hurt my family. And unfortunately, I attract some crazies that not only have harassed me and my family, cursed out my family, attacked my businesses directly and hurt them. I've also dealt with people that publicly try to spread that I beat my wife. And that went around, and people believe it because, a lot of people are just fucking stupid. My daughter's not here. That's why I usually drop the F bomb. Um, and if it happened once in a blue moon, it's not a big deal. But the analogy I use is if you woke up in the morning and stubbed your toe on a table, you're like ow, and you curse for 30 seconds, and then you move on with your day. It's over. But if you're stubbing your toe every damn day, you're eventually going to pick that coffee table up and throw it through the window, right? And unfortunately, that's what happens with me. And I don't know what it is. I try to look at it. Why do I attract these people? What am I doing? Even my wife is just baffled by it. I just recently, unfortunately, was betrayed by a good friend who I repped, and it was hurtful, and I didn't understand it, and I still don't, and this is the second time it's happened, and I try to look at what I'm doing, and I don't get it. Anyway, so the first thing I want to address is I also had someone lump me in with all reps. I hate reps. You guys are this, that, and the next thing, blah blah blah. I want to make this clear. I'm I'm a low level rep, right? I don't and I don't mean this disrespectfully to the people I rep because they are high level talent, but they don't have big names, right? I am not the big reps that they are just managing major artists that already have a fan following and those fans are already there. I'm helping these guys build that fan following. So the problem is when I put this effort in and I build up their fan base and I get them regular buying clients and customers they never had, and I'm getting them more attention on the social media and I'm getting them hired with publishers and getting page rates and everything. I'm putting in a lot of work to help build their career. I don't make a lot of money. I do this because I want to help them. To be honest with you, I don't get paid enough for what I do. But that's okay. I signed on for this, so I'm not complaining. But what you don't understand is when they betray me and they screw me and they move on, they take all my hard work with them. So the connections they made with publishers, the clients that now buy from them regularly at a higher rate than they used to sell because I established that, they're walking away with my hard work, my effort, my blood, sweat, and tears while saying F you to me. So it's frustrating. But is that a reason to go out and call anybody out and rant on them? No, no. Not if they didn't steal from me, which one person did. We won't get into that again. It's not worth it. So I just want everybody to know, don't lump me in with regular reps because I am not managing somebody who's already got a big fan base. I'm creating that fan base for them, and I work hard at it. And these guys deserve it because they're really talented artists. Alex Sarabia, Mauro Zapata, Rob Powers, Kenny Calderon, Kevin Stewart, Rod Rodolfo, Ricardo Silva, Gary Girout. They're all great people working hard, and they deserve to get some recognition. So I work hard for them. But don't lump me in with those reps. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'm going to rant about, and this is very serious. I just got a phone call from a big name in the industry who I'm friends with, and they're a really good person. They're one of the great people in this industry, because let's be honest, there's a lot of narcissistic, two-faced crapheads. But anyway, this person called me because they saw my post talking about the rant, and they were worried for me. They're like, be careful, the reputation, blah, blah, blah. And I love them for that. I appreciate that they took the moment out of their day to call me because they cared enough about what I'm building that I don't ruin it. And I am grateful to them. And nothing they said was wrong. Everything they said was absolutely correct, right? So I just want you to know that there are good people in the world, and that person is one of them. There's another person. I'm not going to name names because I don't want to involve them, just in case this is taken negatively. I don't want them associated. But I'm going to say, the first thing I'm going to say is, anybody who does know me knows that I know I'm not perfect. I know I make mistakes. I unintentionally hurt people, or I shoot my mouth off, or I can be a jackass sometimes. I'm not above that. I'm a human. So when I talk about integrity and my aspirations to be a man of integrity, I do not think I'm better than anybody. I know I'm as flawed as everybody else, but I try. I try to be a better person. I try to spread that and not that I've been elected the moral compass, but I do feel it's good to talk about morality and integrity and make that the message, right? And some people hate that about me. They take it as me being preachy or holier than thou, and that's not what I'm doing. And if you take it that way, to be honest with you, it's probably because you've got an issue, not me. Maybe you look at yourself and you feel you're not reaching your potential as a person of integrity, or maybe I'm ruining it for you. Maybe I'm the guy that studies for tests and does well, where you just want to screw around. You go, dude, stop getting good scores. You're making me look bad. I don't know if that's the case. I don't really give a shit. That's not my problem. Your problems are yours. Don't make them mine. But a few people have mentioned to me about all my negative posts, and I'm a negative person. And it's such bullshit. It's ridiculous. And I'll tell you why. You go scroll through my feed. I challenge all 20 people in this room right now to scroll through my feed over the last 3 months. And 95% of my feed is promoting my business, promoting other people's businesses, talking about pop culture, shows or books or whatever, and artists, giving credit to people, all positive stuff. 5% is what you consider negative. And of that 5%, it's tongue in cheek. Like the other day, I posted about some guy. A family member of mine is ill, and it could be serious. It's serious, but they're a proud person, so I try not to get too much into that. And I have a book that is inspired by them, and it's basically a tribute to them. And they were hoping that I could get it published before it's too late. And I want to. It's important to me to do that. But I'll need $15,000 because it's a 110-page graphic novel, and I want to pay artists fair. I didn't do a GoFundMe like everybody said. I'm not trying to lowball anybody and say $50 page rate. I wanted to pay them a fair indie page rate, so I need 15 grand. So I also asked for reviews because it helps with marketing. Or maybe it doesn't, but it doesn't hurt. And someone reached out to me. They reached out my DM because they saw my public post, and they said they'd be happy to read it. So I said, thank you so much. I'll send the NDA. I said, blah, blah. And then out of nowhere, they just started cursing and go, well, what the F do I get out of this? What is it for me and my company, and blah, blah, blah. So part of me gets frustrated with that, especially because it was such an intimate, personal reason for it. So I put up the post. And I kind of tongue-in-cheek was like, where do I meet these people? Where do these crazy people come from? So that makes me negative. And this is where I'm going to get with this. I see big names, and I won't name those big names. Big names get offended over the easiest fan insult or whatever, and they blast that fan. And the fan base of that big name comes out and cheers them on, and they attack that person too. And I got your back, Mr. So-and-so, and yeah. And they're hailed the conquering hero. And that's over petty stuff, like someone critiqued their art, or they said something they think they can't draw something or whatever. Me, I'm defending my business or my family, and I get the reputation of being the bad guy, and I should just keep my mouth shut, and you shouldn't call out these people. And the funny thing is, when you're a big name like those people, and your fans are going to come to your defense, why would you let that bother you? If I was wealthy and well known in the industry, I wouldn't give two shits what anybody says about my business because it wouldn't hurt me. But when I'm trying to build and I'm busting my ass 24/7 to build Filbo Publishing and have it respected, just to get respect, to have one person, look at my book with respect and not go, it's indie, I'm not interested. We bust our asses, indie people, at shows for people to try to lowball us or say, I'll come back, but they spend their money on big names and screw us, right? So if I was a big name, I wouldn't give a crap what anybody said. But when I'm a little guy, I don't care what insults you throw at me. But if you're hurting my business or going after my family, I have a problem. I just recently had a bunch of guys over nothing. I put a benign post up, and they were very sexually explicitly inappropriate in regards to my wife. I'm not letting that go. If I'm the villain for calling out bad behavior, then you have the freaking problem, not me. And I'm really tired of this human mentality that if the victim shaming. Now, I'm not a victim per se, but the person who was done wrong calls out the one who did the wrong, and somehow they're the problem. They're the bad guy. And that baffles me beyond belief. But if a big name does it, they're hail the conquering hero. I don't understand it. It's a very weird social dichotomy. It's a very weird dynamic. I don't get it. So I'm just going to say, for those who think I'm negative or I'm shooting myself in the foot and hurting my business because I'm honest, I'd rather be honest and have no comics produced than have to be a fake, narcissistic shitbag to produce comics. And that's my choice, and I'll live with the consequences. And if you won't support me because I'm honest, well, then I don't need your support because you're not anything I stand for. And the funny thing is, with the exception of one person, the few people that tell me to stop making videos like this never once bought a book, never once shared a post, never once supported me. So why do I give a shit what you have to say? For the people that do support me and they're looking out for me, God bless you and thank you. I really am grateful for you. The person that called today, they're awesome. They did not have to call me. They're a well-respected name in this industry with a great resume, and they felt they wanted to help me and protect me, and they called me in the middle of the day, in their work day, to look out for me. And those are the people that I will bleed for. So I'm just here to say, if you think I'm negative because I call out the truth, go scroll through the last 3 months of my posts, and I dare you to tell me how much of my posts are negative, because they're not. Most of them are not. And it's funny, the person I spoke to on the phone today, he made a great point. The algorithms pick up the negative posts because they create controversy and a lot of engagement. If you look at my negative posts, they get a lot of engagement. I get a lot of comments. But if I post about Filbo Publishing or one of my books that are damn cool, I get 40 likes. I post about some jabroni who says something stupid to me in DM, I get 120 likes and 85 comments. Everybody likes a car crash. Everybody likes a car crash, right? You don't stop for the guy stuck on the side of the road. You zip by them, but you sure as hell stop for the dude that's wrapped around a pole just to look. You don't get out and help, but you just look. Am I wrong? Tell me anything I've said so far is wrong. Tell me. I mean, it's not. It's not wrong. It's not wrong at all. We will stop traffic to stop and look at the poor person that wrapped their car around a pole, but we won't stop for the person who needs help with their car broken down on the side of the road. Tell me I'm wrong. What the fuck is wrong with us? So yes, I get frustrated. I wear my heart on my sleeve. There's no doubt about that. but you always know where I stand. Everybody who works with me knows where I stand. I am always transparent up front. This person, this artist I rep that screwed me over, they have comps coming to them, and I have their art, and I am shipping it out today. The comps they earned, the art that I have, it's all going back to them because that's the right thing to do. I don't do things because of a fear of consequence. I do them because of conscience. Does that make me better than you? No. I'm an asshole sometimes. It just means I'm trying to be better. I don't know who is and who isn't out there. That's for you to decide. I'm just trying to be better. And that's all I can do. But if you're upset with me because I make these honest posts, I'm going to be clear. There's 20 people in this room right now. And this video is going to get 800, 900 fucking views. But if this video was about my new book, The Diary of Dread, or the Tragedy trade paperback, there'd be 6 people in this room. I'm the guy stuck on the side of the road when I do that video. Right now, I'm the car crash. You all heard me say rant in that post, and here you all came. Because you like negativity. You don't want positivity. Because if you did, you'd stop attacking the people that try to be positive. You'd stop attacking the people that are calling out the negative people. Because let's be honest, this industry is like little Hollywood. It's fake, it's narcissistic, and it's full of shit. And most people are full of shit. Do you know how many people, they share your post and they say nice things? They do the bare minimum to make it look like they're on your side, and they're secretly hoping you fail. I've had people go in my DMs to other people about me saying I don't pay artists, or I'm using my artists that I rep so I don't have to pay for artists. They spread rumors that I beat my wife. I mean, and people buy this. So, but when I see these people, they smile at my face. People are full of shit. Don't worry about me, Christina. I'm not even angry right now. I'm just expressing truth. And that's the other thing. I'm a very passionate person. When I love you with everything I have. When I'm angry with you, I'm angry. But at the same time, when I'm passionate, when I'm talking, I could be talking motivationally about you right now. I'll be this passionate. I just have that energy. I'm a self-motivator. I don't need external things to motivate me. I motivate myself. I don't get depressed or down. If I get frustrated with a situation, I get annoyed, and I go, how am I going to make this change? And I go make it change. And I try to motivate people to do it the same way. Maybe it's tougher than they want it to be or direct. I get it. Not people. Look, the truth is, everybody likes honesty about everyone else, but they do not like honesty about themselves. You don't, because everything I say right now is honestly true. But if any one of you, I would approach you about being honest about you, you get pissed at me. Honesty is only good when I'm speaking for you, not speaking to you. That's the truth. You know, and if you're Charles Barkley and you're famous, people, oh, I love him. He straight shoots. He says it like it is. But if Phil Russert does it, who's this asshole? I don't get it. And you may wonder what sparked this. It was a string of incidents over the last 2 weeks that culminated at the end of this weekend with this individual turning on me. And then they gaslight me. And I just get tired of it. Like I said, it's the analogy before. When you stub your toe every morning, after a while, you throw the coffee table out the window. And I understand I'm a publisher, and I'm trying to make it big. And I might not be able to do this. You're doing fine. You should see me when I get here. Chance Wolf is... You say anything bad about Chance Wolf, you got to deal with me. That's all I'm going to tell you. You don't mess with him. Good man. Great resume. Amazing artist, but a great man. Awesome person. Anyway, and if you like magic, my God, this guy creates the most amazing puppets and you know, I don't know what they're called, but like scenery. You should check out Chance's business. Check out his ink work and his artwork. I mean, he worked for Image. He worked with big names, Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane, etc. So if you don't know Chance, you should. He's one of the great ones in the industry. Marat's another great one, Marat Michaels, who's always looking out for me. So thank you to him. But I just wanted to let people know, if the good people stop and you say, well, turn a cheek, ignore them. The problem is when you ignore them, you're empowering them. They think they can get away with it, and they're going to sucker punch you because you're not looking at them anymore. You have to shine a light on the bad people if you want things to get better. And so many people complain about how crappy things are, but when I speak up about it, they'll either join in with the people that vilify me or they stay quiet. Shame on you. Take a stand or shut up. Because if you're not going to do anything to change it, then shut up. Shut up. And if you don't like my rants, you're entitled to. I hold nothing against you. If you don't like my rants, you think they're negative, okay. But what I would say is, before you label me negative, go look at all my posts. Go look at all the things I try to do to support the community. Look at the books I write and the things I write about and the human characters I put in there, and then make a decision. Don't get a snippet of the video. Get the whole picture if you're going to judge and make a decision. And if you don't want to and you just want to not like me, that's fine too. I'll still go on with my day. But if you want to be part of my journey and allow me to be part of yours, I'm grateful and I'm happy and I'll have your back. Because I'm the guy that will get up in 3 a.m. to get you and help you on the side of the road, even though I have work at 6 a.m. I won't ask you for gas. I won't ask you for a favor in return. You owe me nothing. But I'm also the guy that if you do the wrong thing, I'm going to put my foot in your ass. That's it. It's real simple. You get the shirt off my back or my foot in your ass, and it's entirely up to you. Do I think I'm somebody important? No. Do I think my opinion should matter to you? No, I don't. It shouldn't. Who the fuck am I? But my point is, if my opinion doesn't matter to you, then leave me the fuck alone. Just leave me alone. Don't message me. Don't DM me. Don't tell me what I should do or how I should do it or speak it. I'm not talking about the person who called today, because that person's intention was to protect me. That person was a friend. A lot of fake people in this industry. Comic books saved me from a really crappy childhood. It was violent and it was rough, and I didn't feel safe in my own home. And I learned what it is to be a hero through Superman and Nightcrawler, and a lot of heroes. And somewhere along the line, as we got older and we started realizing how much money we can make off of comics, it's a business. It was always a business. But when you were a kid, you didn't know that. You just read the comics and they meant something to you. And then somewhere along the line, we grow up and money gets involved, and jealousy and pettiness and greed and competition. And we forgot all about what the hell we were reading about. We forgot what the hero was. And what are we doing now? We want to make Superman as petty as we are, as angry as we are, as flawed as we are. Instead of look up to being like him, we bring him down to us. And we think that's acceptable. And we think that's good. We got enough anti-heroes. Leave Superman alone. Leave Wonder Woman and Captain America alone. Those three should be the virtue signals that they were meant to be, that they are, the inspirations they are. Let us reach up to them, not bring them down to us. But seriously, money gets involved, pettiness, and it's not even money. I know less people that screw me over for money as they do for jealousy and pettiness. Now, I haven't accomplished anything in my mind yet. I have a lot of people that say I have, and I am, and they believe I'm going to go somewhere. I have people that use me because they believe I'm going to go somewhere, because they see that I'm friends with some big names, and they use me, and they think I don't know they're using me. They think that they're butting up to me and doing the little things that make it look like they're my friend, like I don't know. I wasn't born yesterday. There's gray. I wasn't born with gray hair. That's how long I've been around. And people are fake, man. They're full of shit. There's some honest, sincere people, and I know who they are. And I know who's full of shit, too. And the full of shit people are the ones going, I got you, man. I got your back. The people who are full of shit are telling me they have my back. The people who are sincere and honest show me they have my back. Like the person who called me today. Like Greg Johnston. Like Charles W. Morgan. A lot of people. And I'm grateful for them. I really am. But the sneaky pettiness, they perceive that I'm surpassing them and I'm doing great things. It doesn't even mean it's true. They just see it that way. And they get petty and they get jealous and they start to do bad, ugly things. Jealousy is a really shitty thing, man. I don't get jealous. I get inspired. There's a lot of people I could be jealous of. There's tons of people I could be jealous of. I'm not. I look at them. I'm happy for their success, even though I wish I could have it. I just look at what they're doing and say, well, what are they doing to get me to that I can get there? Or how do they handle things? Be inspired, not jealous and petty. A lot of us in this industry, I don't think we ever grew up. We're children in adult bodies. The way we act, they act like high school cliques. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of bullshit. And am I at fault for reacting to the drama? Yes, I am. I absolutely am. I'm contributing to the drama anytime I make a video like this. I am. I'm guilty as charged. One thing I have is introspection. I know what I do. I know why I'm motivated to do it. I know what I've put into a situation. I know that my mouth gets me in trouble. I know that not everybody likes honesty. I know that I come across as aggressive. I know. I know. So I never fault anybody who doesn't want to deal with me, who it's too much for them. Some people, especially if you're introverted, I'm not a good person to be around. I'm too extroverted for you. It stresses you, makes you anxious. I understand it. I respect it, and I'll leave you be. It's the people that don't leave you be that I have a problem with. You can agree to disagree. You can agree to just part ways and go your own way, but do it with honesty, do it with integrity, and leave each other alone. But people come after me, and I haven't done shit to them. And the ironic thing is, I warned my wife before we got married years ago. I have this weird thing where I attract angry, petty people, and I don't know why. And I always study it and I look at it, and my wife was like, yeah. And the way you're all probably thinking right now, yeah, all right, whatever. I'm sure that everybody's got assholes in their life. It's true. But my wife is just baffled at, I could be driving down a road. A guy cuts me off really bad. This happened yesterday, by the way. And then they flip me the finger like I did something. I wasn't driving slow in the left lane. I wasn't driving erratic. I wasn't doing anything offensive. And it's that's a small example. Now, does that bother me? No, but it's just like it's an anecdote, a small example of what's going on. Hey, John Martin, Robert, I'm not even addressing you. Robert Gencarelli, go check out. Rob, drop your link. John Kotsis, drop your link. Everybody, drop your links to what you're doing. You're welcome. No matter what I talk about, especially if it's something like this, because God knows the car wreck video will get more views, as I said. Please drop your links and support yourself in the chat. Angel, you do too, please. Yes, I was on the Long Island Expressway. It was a mess. The guy literally, if I didn't slam my brakes, the back of his car would have hit the front of my car. And somehow I was the asshole. And I was in the HOV lane. He illegally crossed into the HOV lane. So whatever. Hey, John Martin. Everybody. Robert, Fat Daddy, go for it. Put your links in and please plug and promote, because marketing is very hard. And that's the point of my frustrations. If I defend against somebody, it's not because they called me a name or they don't like me. I don't care. There's plenty of people that do that. There's people you've never heard me say a word about that did me wrong, but they weren't going after my business. But when someone goes after my business or is trying to say I beat my wife and people are starting to believe it, yeah, I have to say something. I have to address that because I'm trying to build. Marketing is hard. It's, you think with social media it's easy. You reach everybody all over the world now. It's hard because I'm not selling books. I'm selling trust. You have to trust that my book is solid for your money. If I was Scott Snyder and, you'd buy my book blindly because, hey, Scott's got a resume of writing some amazing stuff, right? He earned that trust. So, okay, I'm trying to earn trust that when I write something, you feel, you know what, that's going to be good. If Phil wrote it, it's good. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to read it. The problem is I'm not an artist. An artist can just put up a picture and you can't help but see it and decide if you like it or not. It's just a matter of if you have the money or not, right? As a writer, I don't have that. You have to buy the book and read it and invest in reading it. And people have small attention spans these days, unless they're on their phone. So it's hard for me to sell that trust. Now, my campaigns, they fund quickly. They do well relatively, not the $40,000 campaigns that Booby Books do, but they do all right because I do have probably about 150 people on Kickstarter that feel everything I write is solid, or at least a tragedy is solid, and they come in and they buy to read, not to collect. So I'm grateful to them. I'm grateful to everybody that supports me in any way. Just tap my pick and send a friend request to see my work. Awesome. John Martin said anybody can tap his pick and you can see, or send a friend request, and you can see his work. He's a really nice guy, very talented creator, artist, inker, everything. He does a lot of shows. If you have any shows coming up, John, you want to plug, go ahead. Check it out. Gary, thank you for putting the Diary of Dread there. Gary inked a vast majority of that book and did a phenomenal job. Gary's awesome. If you need an inker, reach out to me. I represent Gary with great pride, and Gary's a good man. Aaron, what's going on? Who was the artist that did the artwork? Because I would love to use them again for a gift for Jeff. Oh, that was Kenny Calderon, Christina. Reach out to me. I'd be happy to. Hey, Charles W. Morgan, speak of the devil. I was just mentioning you a minute ago. Check out Cold Cutter. Put your links down for Cold Cutter, Charles. So yeah, I mean, honestly, people say you're negative here, but you all come out for my rants. If this was about my publishing company and my Diary of Dread, there wouldn't be 20 people in this room. There wouldn't. The car crash, man. It's all about rubbernecking the car crash. But the guy stuck on the side of the road or the woman with her 2 children, fuck them. Keep going. What the hell's wrong with us? But yeah, man, there's a lot of people full of shit in this industry. So if you think I'm negative because once in a while, 5% of the time, I put up a post that's real and raw, fine. But why don't you go look at the 95%? For all of you that will join in on my negative posts, how many of you are on my positive posts? Because it's 95% of the time. How many of you? How many of you are sitting there right now going, listen to this guy rant and fuck him, he's an asshole, have looked at any one of my motivating posts or posts that are promoting other people and trying to help them? How many of you? So before you give me that label, why don't you look? Why don't you see? Now, do I really care if I have that label? I don't. I write comics because I love comics. They saved me. I had a crappy ass childhood. And then I had a crappy ass adulthood before meeting my beautiful, wonderful wife and having beautiful kids. And I'm blessed now. After decades of shit and sludge, I have a life I'm grateful for and I'm blessed for. And I know I have more than so many. And I recognize that every day and I'm grateful. So don't get me wrong. I lead a very, very blessed life. I'm not to want for anything. I've got my art and my statues and my toys, but I've got my house. But what I really have is my wife and my children and family. And I'm grateful for that. I have my health, thank God. And so when I go on my rants, don't think that I'm this angry, negative person. I have a great life and I'm usually laughing and joking and I love so much of my life. Would I like to publish for a living? Of course I would. But I'm never going to do it at the cost of what I feel is the right thing. And I understand it's a subjective thing for a lot of people. But sometimes there's just right and there's just wrong. And you can argue gray area all you want. Gray area exists, but there are some places it does not. It's right or it's wrong. And you can try to obscure it and you can try to make it gray area, but that's because you really have another alternative. Nobody specifically, just the people that do that. Sometimes there's just right and there's just wrong. And if me calling out bad people makes me wrong, then maybe I'm not the problem. Maybe you are. And again, if I see big names call somebody out, I'm not going to name the person, but there's a huge superstar in the industry whose art I love. And the few times I interacted with them, I don't know them well. They seem very nice, very pleasant. So this is not a negative mark on them at all. But they have a famous cover. And a few years ago, some jabroni jackass, for whatever reason to feel relevant, who's nowhere near the artist, obviously this person is, and doesn't have anywhere near the resume, critiqued the person's cover. The internet went batshit crazy defending this artist and attacked this guy relentlessly. I mean, they went at him hard. Now, me personally, I'm like, why? He expressed an opinion. Leave him alone. It could be as ignorant as he was ignorant, and it was stupid. But why attack him? Just who cares? I don't feel the need to go after anybody. Going after people is just a waste of time. I react to people. I don't go after them. So I didn't understand why everybody was going nuts on this dude. But he's got to expect you to do that, right? So this guy did this, and the big name person obviously saw it because it was blowing up all over the internet. And this big name person who's already got thousands, 100,000 loyal fans, is already rich, already lives a great life of celebrity fame and fortune, has a beautiful wife, has a reputation of being a nice guy. His art is amazing, and his resume, he could sit and do nothing for the rest of his life, and he's king, right? He felt the need to respond to this guy, belittle him, and put him down because he was hurt and offended by the person's critique. Now, I don't judge him on that. I don't think it makes him a bad person at all, because we're all human, right? We get hurt, we get annoyed, we get pissed off with the people being negative for no reason. Like, he didn't ask for it, and here this guy comes and just attacks him for no reason. So I think it's a natural reaction for him to do what he did. That's fine. But everybody loved that he did that and cheered him on because he's this big name. And the funny thing is, being that big name, you already have that clientele. Why do you care what this nobody artist had to say about your work? Why would that bother you? You know, he's nowhere near your level. Nobody knows who this guy is, and they all know who you are and love you. So his fans attacked him for him. So why would he even need to do that? But he still got lauded and cheered. Yes, you go, Mr. So-and-so. Fantastic. Belittle him. Make this nobody a nobody. Me? Someone says I beat my wife. Someone's stalking my family and my businesses on the internet. They curse out my children. They hurt my shows and come after me aggressively. They are constantly DMing me, saying things and cursing me out. They approach me at shows and threaten to smash me in the face with keyboards and stuff. And I addressed this person in a rant on a video. I was angry, and I'm the bad guy. Explain that to me. Just one of you. Explain that to me, please. Please. Yeah, Aaron, you never see me do an unsolicited critique. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And I also don't do public critiques. If you want me to give you a critique, I won't do it publicly, because that is going to put opinions in other people's minds. I will go privately in a DM and be honest with you about what you ask me, if you ask me. I know for a fact your wife can and will kick your ass. That's definitely yeah, agreed. My wife's a badass. Look at my wife, though. Does she look like I beat her? She's a gorgeous supermodel, not a mark on her. I had to get a restraining order on this other show owner. That's how bad he was. And while I was in the police precinct getting the restraining order, the cop asks me, when's the last time he contacted you? And it was showing he's sending me messages as the cop asks that. And the messages are telling me how he's going to tell everybody, he tells everybody I beat my wife, how I use my artists just to get free work, I don't pay anybody, and all this crap, harassing me. Now, I wanted to go to this individual's home and take care of things the way I was brought up to take care of them, man to man. But I would lose everything. And my wife, being the level-headed, beautiful, wonderful person she is, she said, don't be stupid. Just go get a restraining order. So I did. Meanwhile, this person was at a show that I was at the other day, and they're walking near me. I could have them arrested. They're breaking the restraining order, but I don't bother. As long as they leave me alone, and right now they've been quiet since the restraining order. At least, I think, because they use other people to go behind my back. And that's the thing. You all see the honest guy being honest and in your face about it. You don't see the sneaky guy. You don't see the guy that's sneaking in DMs and cursing out my family, or the sneaky things they do behind, closed doors, because they smile at your face while they're shivving you in the back, where I'm being open and honest. So I look like the bad guy, I guess. I guess that's what it is, because people don't like honesty. If I call someone out by name, rest assured, they're a bad, bad person. You can rest assured that, okay? I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I'll own up to my mistakes. But if I call somebody out by name, they're a bad person. Now, this artist that just turned their back on me and betrayed me, I don't think they're a bad person. I think they did some bad things, but I think they're a very immature, very fragile person. I think that someone was talking in their ear and they were weak and bought it, but I don't think they're bad. I just think they're weak. So I am not calling them out by name, because they betrayed me as a friend, but they didn't hurt my business and they didn't come after my family. Don't do those two things. I don't call you out. I don't. I will not name you. There are a few a-holes that I'd love to let them know they're a-holes, but I just move on, because they didn't go after my business and they didn't go after my family. Those are my two no-nos. If you do those two things, I'm going to come back. I'm going to address it. That's it. The thing is, I don't bring these people in, Saeed. They come to me. I don't get it. Exactly, Christina. I grew up in rough neighborhoods. I handled things myself. There was no calling the cops, and there was no mommy and daddy. You handled yourself in the street. I'm not saying I'm Mr. Badass. I'm just saying that's how I grew up. No, because I just don't want to waste my time on that. I could have the listen, they edited that original video to make me look insane, and they actually turned people against me with it. That is actually defamation of character because they falsified the video. I could take them to court. I could sue them. I don't want to. I don't want conflict. I don't want drama. I just want to make books that people like. I hope that you come out and read them, enjoy them. I want to support others that are struggling like me. I want to help. But these people keep coming after me and I just get tired of it. What's a DCMA? So when I do these videos and I kind of let out a little frustration, if it's going to label me as you're a publisher, you can't do that. Why? Why are we to excuse bad behavior out of fear of me losing my publishing? So then I'm putting money before morality. I'm putting money before integrity. And anybody who won't support my books because I called out somebody who was doing wrong, then maybe I don't want your support. And if that means I'm selling 5 books a year, so be it. It'll become a hobby. But I have to stay true to me, and I have to be the man my kids deserve someday. I have to. I can't look my children in the face knowing that I'm a scumbag. I can't. I can look my kids in the face and say, all right, I screwed up. I accidentally or unintentionally did blah, 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 and I'll own up to it. But I can't look them in the face knowing that I was purposely being a malicious piece of shit to someone. I can't do it. I can't. It's just not in my DNA. And there's plenty of people it's not in their DNA either. It's not just me. There's plenty. So I just can't do it. And as much as I want to be a successful publisher, it will not come before what I teach my children. Look, if I told you how many people have said to me, what are you doing? Take tragedy, at least just show some cleavage. Just cleavage. Just a little. You don't have to go nuts. Just show cleavage or do a bathing suit issue. You'll do 40 grand easily. Yeah, I would, but I won't do it. And you ask why? Do I look down on booby books? Yes and no. If there's a market for booby books and you make booby books, good for you. You're a smart business person. You're catering to the demographic that you sell to, and you're making a lot more money than me. You're smart, you're successful, and you're not doing anything wrong because you're catering to what people want. God bless you. Keep going. Be as successful as you need to be. I don't hate on people doing booby books. What I do get frustration with is fans want booby books, but they don't want quality stuff to read. Like if you like your booby books, but you also want to support and read good stuff, I think that's wonderful. But if you're buying booby books and I got to struggle to get a good story out, I get frustrated. I don't hate on the booby book people, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Now, why do I not want to do booby books? Simple. I have an 11-year-old girl. I have a 9-year-old girl. And life is hard. And we keep talking about misogyny and the patriarchy, right? But we keep sexualizing women. We keep telling them their strength is in their tits and their ass and their pretty face. And every woman that goes on the internet and does the selfies and cosplays and looks sexy and hot and spreads her legs and all this stuff is telling you that. They're telling little girls that your value is in your looks. I like a pretty girl as the next one. Marry the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. But I don't want to teach my kids that. I don't want my daughter at 14 dressing with a tube top and her ass cheek sticking out under her fucking shorts because she thinks that's where her value is. Not doing it. And what would I be saying if I'm making that book? If Tragedy's got her ass and her tits sticking out, what am I teaching her? What am I teaching Melanie, who's about to be a teenager? What am I telling her? I'm failing her as a father is what I'm doing. Because fades look on all of us. I will not look this handsome for the rest of my life. Seriously. Looks fade. Looks fade. but personality doesn't. Mind, your heart, your mind. That's the shit we should be valuing. And we value all the wrong things. Caleb Thusset, I don't know if I pronounced your name right, writes some quality stories. He's got the Neverland Tales out, right? He struggles and he fights and he works hard just to get people to take it seriously and read it. It's a fantasy tale. It's well written. It's beautiful looking. It's family friendly. It's quality storytelling. Will he do anywhere near as much as a book that has a half naked woman on it? No. I don't know if it's a matter of fair or not fair. I don't know. I'm not here to judge it as a good or bad thing, but it is frustrating. It's very frustrating. I'm sure Caleb is frustrated. I am. I'm frustrated for him, for me, for everybody. Lee Giles, a bunch of people, because we're struggling just to get taken seriously for our writing and our storytelling and sharing things that we think will resonate with you. You know, again, if you like your booby books, I'm not here to vilify you. Like what you like, love what you love. You have the right to spend your money on what you want to spend it on. Go for it. If you have a wall of booby books, God bless you. But for me, I like real women, my wife, and I don't want to teach my daughters that's where it is. And it makes me laugh. All these people talking patriarchy and misogyny and women are second class citizens, and here we are pumping these books out. And this is going to get me in trouble because there are people that I like and respect in this industry that's what they do. I don't knock them for it. God bless them. Do it. There's a demographic for it. You're making money. You're successful. You're not hurting anybody. You're not forcing anything on anybody. They're not bad people at all. Good for you. I just don't. I don't know. I wish there was more people investing in reading quality stories as well. I do. I wish. And you know what? There's hundreds of us, thousands of us that feel this way, and I'm the only one who will speak up about it. And then I'll get vilified for speaking up while everybody stays safe, but they're secretly going, yeah, Phil, you're right. I'm with you, just not in public. Yeah, I got your back, Phil, but quietly, because I don't want them to get on me, because I want to sell my books. I want to sell books. I want Tragedy to be a household name. I want to be a well-respected publisher, like, at least on the level of a Dark Horse IDW Image, I want people to say, hey, I got to work for Filbo Publishing. I want to be that guy. Of course I do. I want to have books that resonate with people and they love the characters. I want to be a guy at a New York Comic-Con that doesn't have to struggle to get a table, and then people come to my table and they want to meet me and say, hey, how you doing? I love what you did because you know what? I really resonate with that character. I connect to that character. The story really touched me. It really was great. I want to be that guy. I do. But not at the expense of the things that I hold dear on principle. And you can look at me and say, I think that's stupid. You're entitled to that. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. You can look at me and say, okay, why do you have to be vocal about it? Because that's me. And I make no apologies for me. Neither should you. And if you feel you have to apologize for me, then go away. You're not my friend. Don't be there for me. That's it. Look, I like pretty women too. There's nothing wrong with the female form. It's beautiful. But if we're going to make it like that's where their strength is, that's where I draw the line. It's not. Superheroes, comics, to me, they're always about beautiful art, heroes, villains to teach us what's right and wrong, adventure stories that take us away from the hardships of life that we can immerse ourselves in and have fun, and characters that we can relate to or inspire to be. Can I relate to Superman? No, I'm not super strong, and I'm not as perfect as he is with his personality. Do I aspire to be like him? Yeah. I want to be that virtuous, sincerely virtuous. I want to be honorable. I want to be, Mr. Humble Pie. I want to be that guy. I do. That's why I love Superman. I want to reach up to him. I don't want him down to me, I said this before, I'm repeating myself, but that's what comics is for me. And yes, comics have always been drawn the handsome man with the six-pack, and Rogue had her big boobies and hips and everybody. And I get that. There was look, the demographic were teenage boys. And that's who they were catering to. I get it. I'm not against it to a degree. It's when you go overboard. I mean, we have covers now that they're naked. I mean, they're absolutely naked. And some of it is digital art. Some of it's photoshopped art, pretending to be digital art. And it's real looking. It's like, are you picking up a Playboy or are you picking up a comic? I don't know. It's why Phil hasn't put me in any of his books yet. He's keeping the eye candy away from the ladies. Craig. Um. So let's fight to keep my present right there with you. I'm fighting the right fight right now for issue 4. Yeah, Caleb, drop the links, man. Please do. Um. Again, these are just my opinions. I don't speak for anybody. I'm just speaking for me. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it or leave it, whatever you want. You don't like it, just move on. If you like it, support me. If you like my books but you don't like my mouth, you don't have to conflate the two. Support the books. Support the stories. Support storytelling and craft. That's it. And don't get me wrong, like Adam Hughes doing the bombshell stuff, that was tasteful, it was classy, it was elegant 50s, beautiful female figures. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not even knocking the full out sexual books. I just don't get it and it's not my thing. And I think it's the wrong message for girls. I do. How many women feel that they're not good looking enough? They're not pretty enough. How many women are associating that with their self-worth? I don't know. I can't speak for An Vu or Christina Hutchison. They're the two women that happen to be in here right now. But have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt you're not good enough because you're not as pretty? Have you? I mean, how many magazines are telling you 50 ways to look good for your man? I mean, Dave Chappelle said it, right? And the airbrushing and the makeup and the lighting, and you start to believe it. You start to believe that's what a woman is, and you don't look good. And um, I don't want that for people. There's a market for everything. There are tons of comics that don't show that stuff that are making good money. Either people like a bookstore or they don't. If a particular title isn't selling, perhaps there's more to it than the cover or actual interior art. So you just don't like a book. That's true, Justin. It's absolutely true. Um, I don't know how many people are reading the booby books. I think they're more collectors than readers. I think they collect that style art more than read anything that's inside the book. I could be wrong, but anybody I ever speak to that buys those books, they're not reading the stories. And my books do sell. They just don't sell, on a level where I can retire from my job. But my campaigns do well enough, anywhere from 8 to 13,000. So this isn't me hating on that. This isn't me jealous or petty. I'm just saying, sell the booby books, make money, be happy, do your thing, but give writers a chance too. Give these quality stories a shot. You can say maybe they just don't like a book. I have return readers. It's getting new readers. It's getting people that are going to trust to buy the book, pick it up, and read it. That we work hard and struggle with. So that's not people not liking the story. That's them just not giving it a chance. That's a different topic altogether. As someone with low self-esteem, it makes me depressed because for a while I starved myself and took a long time to love my body. And I'm sorry you feel that way, Christina, and it's a shame. It really is. And that's part of why I write tragedy, to be honest with you. Um, I try to write tragedy, be kind of relatable more than anything. But you'd have to find out for yourself. Anyway, so I mean that's my rant. There's just some people that I think they're in this business for the wrong reason. I think they're doing bad things and the wrong things too much, and I think we attack the people that are calling out the bad people, and we turn a blind eye to the bad people, and then we wonder why things are bad. You can't complain about toxic industry. You can't complain about bad behavior and how much people suck, and then sit on the fence and watch the person who's calling them out get destroyed or attacked. Or you can't sit on the fence, or you can't join in on the attack, because then you have no ground to complain on. None. 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 How many people complain the world sucks, people are shit, blah, blah, blah? Well, what are you doing to change it? What are you doing? Nothing. You're either joining in or you're staying quiet. And then you wonder why. So again, if you think I'm negative, that's fine. Go look at 95% of my posts. They're nothing but positive. They're either promoting my publishing company and my books, promoting other people, motivational, talking about, positive things, or just talking pop culture. 5% maybe are negative, and even then, some of them are tongue in cheek. Think of me what you want. I hope you support my books. If you don't because of videos like this, you're probably never worth supporting them anyway. I'm currently writing a book that will have a powerful female lead that will have equal footing with the book's main character, male. Cool. Put it out there, man. Put it out there. My partners in Coalition Comics Power Company talk about maybe making one booby book to make a ton of money to finance real comics. Look, I get it. I get it, Rodney. It sells. And you're using it as a tool to make the money you need to fund the other books. I understand it. I'm not judging anybody for that. I don't knock you, but it is a shame. It's a shame that people won't give your comics a chance, that you have to resort to using the booby books as a tool to do that. I just think it's a shame. It's not a shame that people buy them. It's a shame that they don't buy both. It's a shame that one struggles and the other one's succeeding very well. It's very lopsided. I think it's a shame. And that's just my opinion. You take it, leave it, whatever you want to do with it. Come here. I love you. This is my kitten. This is Melanie. She's my 11-year-old. She started 6th grade, so she did a step up to what I used to call junior high school. And she handled it with bravery, as nervous as she probably was. And she's been having a great time, right? She's been very successful, and she's a good kid. And that's it. Love you, kid. Daddy's going on a little rant right now, so.
Oh,
Geek bait. Yeah. I bet her and I lost, so she's reminding me I have to pay up. She was, we were having breakfast. We went to visit my father upstate, and she had this huge bagel, and she had eggs and something else, and potatoes, and she's, this thin little thing, and she's 65 pounds, soaking wet with combat boots and a backpack. And she had the bagel left, and I bet her you can't eat that entire bagel. And if you do, I'll give you a massage. I'll massage your shoulders and your back and everything.
30 minutes.
For 30 minutes. And you know what? To her credit, boom, she did. She ate it, so I have to pay up. Phil, you give way too much energy to the negatives. Just my opinion. Let those people go. Turn that energy elsewhere. Support creators, and there's plenty of negatives out there and people making smart comics. But hey, that's not the market I want. It doesn't sound like the market you want. I personally don't give those peeps any of my energy. I'd rather them hate me for being a success because I am focused on growth and developing solid books. Again, just my opinion, but turn that energy. I appreciate what you're saying, Justin, but I also think you're speaking from seeing clippets of what I do and what I've said. I don't think you see the broad thing. And I think you missed probably the majority of this video, which addresses everything you said. And that's really my point of this. You can label me negative and focusing on the negative, but you don't understand what negatives I'm responding to. There are people that have literally hurt my business, come after my family, etc. The rest of the stuff I do let go. But once in a while, I just talk about the injustices of things. And if we keep turning a blind eye and allowing people to be bad, nothing gets better. And that's my point. You kind of prove my point respectfully. I don't spend too much energy on the negatives. If you look at 95% of my posts, I'm posting and publishing successfully. I'm promoting other people's work. I'm promoting other artists and writers. I am going to shows, taking pictures with people I know and smiling. Most of what I do is positive. But for some reason, that 5% of the negative somehow overshadows the 95% of positive. I was just talking positively about my daughter. So I respect and appreciate that's your opinion, but I think it's basically informed on a small percentage of the truth. So I'm subscribed. I have no idea where I've seen or heard your stuff. Hey, the Woke Breaker. How are you? I don't know. I mean, I'm all over the place. I have people tell me they see me all the time, but they don't interact. So I don't know. I publish books. I do a lot of CreatorCon lives. I interview a lot of big names. By the way, I'll be talking with our friend again, Kevin Eastman, this Saturday, and I'm going to do it live. So it's only 15 minutes because he does a block. But if you want to come on with questions, you can talk directly to Kevin. There you go. You're welcome to do that. So yeah, I don't focus on the negative a lot. It's just when I do, it's intense because I'm a very passionate, expressive person. When I love you with everything I've got. When when I'm working and writing my books, I put it with the utmost passion. When I'm pissed off, I'm pissed off. Um, you know, so who will be at the Memphis Expo too? Kevin? Oh, cool. I wish I could be there. When you go see him, tell him Phil said hi. But I will talk to him Saturday, and you can join in and ask questions. Um, the people who know me, they know how positive I am. I'm always trying to uplift people and motivate them and inspire them. I'm always talking about creativity and stories and writing and heroes and movies and my kids. I mean, man, you get me talking about my family and I'm just glowing all the time. So I'm always positive. But for some, and the person who called me today, I think they're onto something. Facebook algorithm, they will put a lot of people to the negative posts. A lot of people. So if I made one negative post out of 30, most people aren't seeing the other 29, but they see the one. So if all you're seeing are my negative posts, even if they're one a week or one every month, you think I'm a negative person or I'm putting too much negative energy on that because that's what the algorithm's showing you. But you're not seeing all the other stuff. Because to be honest with you, like a person like Justin Hunt is a perfect example. Justin will respond on the few posts that I put up that are maybe controversial or slightly negative. That's the only time I really have interaction with Justin. But I don't see Justin interacting on my, Diary of Dread or tragedy posts or dynamics posts or withered or devils in the details or any of that. And I'm not implying Kevin ignores that stuff. Maybe Kevin's not seeing it. Maybe the algorithm is not showing Kevin those posts. So the only thing Kevin knows of me are those few negative posts I did. So it looks like that's the majority of what I do. I mean, that's very possible on a practical level, you know? And maybe that's why someone like Kevin feels that I give too much energy to the negative because I really don't. Go back and scroll through my page for the last 3 months and see how much positive is there. Oh, wow, there's a lot of comments. Hey, Mike Wheeler's here. Thanks. Yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle guy. Yes. And I don't know if Justin's still with us, but that was the other thing I made the point of. People will stop and block traffic to see someone's car wrapped around a pole. Someone crashes and could be possibly dead. They'll stop and look. They don't get out to help, but they'll look. But the woman with 2 kids stuck on the side of the road with a broke down car, they drive right past at 90 miles an hour. So it's funny how I'm blamed for being negative, but I had 20 something people in the room for this video because I said I was going to go on a rant. But if this was about the indie community, which is 99% of my videos, 6, 7 people. If I was promoting Christopher Elston's book, Rabbit's Badass Song, which I do a lot, or Charles W. Morgan's Cold Cutter, there'd be 4 to 6 people in the room. But today I've had almost 30 people in the room because they saw that I was going to go on a rant. So maybe it's something for you guys to think about. Maybe it's something to think about. As we're all looking at me and saying, I'm negative, I'm this and that, that's the only time you talk to me. It's the only time I hear from you. Maybe it's something to look at. I'm a writer and a publisher. I hire artists and I put out books. I have 7 books out now. And I'm publishing 3 independent creators' own IPs through crowdfunding for now, but I will be going through distribution. So I'm low level, I'm small time, but I'm working on it. To the Woke Breaker. Well, what I do know is, Mike, and I don't know to speak on the situation one way or the other. What I do know is when you call out bad behavior, everybody vilifies you as the bad guy and never looks at the bad behavior. Like there was an artist I knew that I know they were stealing, they were tracing. They weren't really drawing. They were tracing and using Photoshop and all these gimmicks. It wasn't real art. This was a while ago. This was like a year and a half ago. And I know that that's what was going on. And someone called them out and people attacked that person. And that person said, look, if you don't believe me, just ask them to do a live video showing them draw so they can debunk this. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. The artist made excuses not to do that. They said this or that or the next thing. My camera doesn't work. I'm shy. I'm antisocial or whatever. They said all these things. And nobody once looked at why is that artist making excuses and not proving this. Instead, they attacked the person who made the accusation. I don't get that. Because hey, if the person did the live video proved that they were an artist and you want to attack the accuser for being wrong, go for it. That person put themselves in that position. But this person would not do a simple thing as record. Like me, if I was an artist and there was any question that I was not using integrity to draw, that it wasn't my drawing, I'd go buy a camera if I had to get a second job. I would do whatever I had to do to save my reputation and my business, and I would do a live drawing from scratch, from beginning to end. No rough already done, no pencils done and I'm just inking it, none of those tricks and gimmicks, no camera to the right, to the left. The camera would be right on the paper with another camera showing me, and I would be drawing from a blank piece of paper to a finished product if it took 5 hours. So no one could ever question me again. I would just do that. Why wouldn't you? It's your business. It's your reputation. Wouldn't you want to preserve that? If someone was wrong? But no, we attack the person who's calling out the bad behavior. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Now, there's ways to call out, and then there's ways that are going to get you a negative response, if you call out the wrong way. I get that. But, we just keep excusing bad behavior. Turn a blind eye. Don't focus on it. How can you not when it keeps coming into your back door? It keeps coming in. If someone breaks into your house, or if they're on your property but they're not in the house, do you say ignore them? We went through that a couple of weeks ago, talking about. I saw that, Mike. I saw all that. I saw all that. I saw all that. Yeah, and that's another thing. I don't jump to conclusions, and I don't feel the need to form, you're a bad guy, they're a good guy, because I should investigate. I should look into it instead of just taking sides. And everybody just wants to take a side. They don't care what's right, what's wrong. They don't care what's true. It's, I like this person, so they could be the biggest douchebag in the world, but okay, they're right. I agree with them. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I don't get that either. I protect the people I care about, but I defend what's right. I don't defend wrong. And I don't want you to do that for me either. I've been wrong, and I didn't realize I was being wrong. And my wife will say, honey, I love you, but no, I think you were wrong in this situation. Right? Mommy will do that. And I love her for that, because I should be called out if I'm wrong. And I need to be an adult and look at it for what it's worth. And maybe I don't always agree, but I need to look at it. And I need to be given an honest look and say, you know what? Shit. I didn't realize you're right. I was wrong. It takes, you got to be an adult and be able to do that. But everybody's full of shit. Damn it. You better get out of here. I keep cursing. I love you. And it's frustrating. And again, when's the last time you saw a video like this? You say I make these videos a lot or whatever. Go find it. When's the last time I did a video that was complaining or negative? When? I challenge you all to go look right now. When's the last time I made a video like this? You won't find one. It's a long time ago. but somehow I'm labeled as negative because I speak the truth. Like I said before, people love the truth when it's about somebody else. They don't love the truth when it's about them. And that makes you full of shit. Full of shit. Nobody likes honesty unless you're Charles Barkley or some famous person. It's okay to call out negative. I'll give you I'm not going to name them, but there are two people off the top of my head that are well known in this industry that most of what they post is bitching about something. And people are all over it, supporting them and love them. I don't think Justin Hunt or any other person goes to that person's page and tells them they focus on the negative too much. And I don't, forgive me. I'm not trying to call out Justin or make an example of him. I don't mean it that way, Justin. I apologize. I know if you're still watching. I don't mean it that way. So forgive me. That was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. But people who say I focus on the negative too much and I should just move on, I would be willing to bet everything I own, they never say that to a big name that is constantly complaining. And I know about 3 or 4 off the top of my head that are well-known people and well-loved and respected in this industry that probably 75% of what they post is complaining about something or someone or virtue signaling or some crap. I never see people tell them to stop focusing on the negative to move on. Why? Because of their stature? Because they're a big name and I'm not? If anything, they shouldn't be caring about what people think because their fans will defend them. No one's coming to defend me. I'm on an island alone. Even the people that I love and are close to me do not come to my defense. There was a campaign that did not fulfill, and they blocked me, and they spread the rumor I beat my wife and kids, and they wouldn't answer me when I asked for a refund on the campaign, and it was well past due. And I made a post, and I just said what happened to this campaign because they blocked me and they won't respond to me, and I want my money back. So someone, I won't name this white knight, but that white knight knows who they are, and his sidekick, the female wrestler, came on, caused trouble, told them that I was bad-mouthing their campaign, said that I was hurting the indie community for bad-mouthing them, and they edited a video that made me look insane, said that I was beating my wife, and they defamed me, and I could have sued them. So they took it down because they realized after I could sue them. They still have not responded, and after 3 or 4 years, they still have not fulfilled that campaign. They took everybody's money and ran. And I got lambasted. I got vilified. I got destroyed for having the nerve to ask, just where is this campaign? Why can't I get my money? Because they blocked me. And the people that I'm friends with, the people that I care about, all stayed silent, and they also backed that campaign and lost money. And not one of them came to my defense. Not one. So I really don't want to hear about how I focus on the negative anymore. I don't focus on negative until it's appropriate to. When it's appropriate to focus on bad behavior, I will. But that doesn't consume most of my day. It doesn't consume most of my time. My family and my publishing does. So that's it. I like talking shit about people. I think it's hilarious. People talk crap about us all the time. So I a spoonful of medicine down my throat every chance I get. Mike, I don't know what happened. I don't know if you unfriended me or Facebook did. I know sometimes unfriends people, whatever, but we were friends and then we weren't and then we are again. And yeah, you stir the pot and you're aggressive and you get out there. And I know people say a lot of shit. I can't say anything bad about you. You've done nothing to me. You've done nothing to me. And I see people say you did this and did that. They don't provide receipts. And then I see them do bad things too. So I don't know. All I know is your wife has always been cool with me. I don't think your wife has ever posted anything negative or controversial or bad. Yes, conservatives will get blasted a lot. And yes, she speaks honestly. And I think that's what people get mad at. So I can relate to that. I see so many posts that I think are the dumbest things I've ever seen, whether they're political or about religion or whatever. And I'm not here to say pro-religion, anti-religion. You all know I'm a believer of God. But And I don't agree with them. And I think they're the dumbest thing they have ever somebody could say. And it kind of frustrates me that there's so many stupid people in the world, but I still don't post. I don't respond to their post. I don't go on there to tell them I think they're stupid. I don't go on there to tell them they're wrong. Where is that productive? And who cares what my opinion is? They're allowed to say their opinion. Freedom allows you to have stupid opinions. It's okay. It's okay to not agree with someone's opinion. It's okay to not agree with this video. It's okay if you don't agree about me with booby books. You know, it's funny you put up Whoopi Goldberg, Robert, because here's a perfect example. Yeah, I don't have a problem with you guys either. Here's a perfect example, Robert. Whoopi Goldberg has a new comic that's based on her powers are derived by menopause. I put up a post, and it was a screen cap from, it was like a Bleeding Cool or one of those news sources, Screen Rant or something. I don't follow those news sources. I don't give a crap about that stuff. I'm focused on my work. And I simply just asked the question. I did not put anything right or wrong. I just simply asked, what demographic are they trying to reach? Because I honestly don't think middle-aged menopausal women are the majority comic readers. Now, I'm going to speak factually here. People that lean conservative just took the question at face value and said, yeah, I don't know who they're reaching either. It doesn't make sense to me on a business level. People who leaned left got mad at me and attacked me, assumed I was against black people and misogynist or something. And then they made excuses for why it is good for that thing. And I couldn't understand why they were mad about this. And I found out why. Because apparently the news source that I captioned is considered a conservative leaning comic book news source. I don't know that. I don't care. That's all stupid crap to me. You fight left or right, and none of these people care about us. They're all friends joking and laughing at our stupidity in the background while you fight Democrat versus conservative. None of these politicians give a crap about us. But anyway, so they attacked me because they felt, well, it's a conservative site he used. He's a conservative. He's a villain because he has conservative views, and we have to go after him. Nothing in that post, nothing from that screen capture said anything left or right. It just gave the title of the book and the synopsis. And I just asked an honest business question. And I got attacked because they assumed, based on a conservative site, that I must be against them. I'm on the right. And somehow I'm negative. Anybody want to explain that to me? I have it on good authority that Whoopi Goldberg is Eric July's grandmother. I never heard that. I've never heard that. If you want a news source that leans, all you have to do is check out the Rippaverse official Twitter, but it only leans because Eric July's wife is more of a... Oh, Jesus. But boom. Ooh. And that's the other thing. We've lost a sense of humor. I mean, humor is at the expense of somebody, right? If you made a joke about me having more chins than, I don't know, whatever, you know, I can't say that because that'd be considered racist. But if you joked about my white hair or losing hair or being overweight, I'm not going to get mad. You're just making a joke. Who cares? You know, we've lost our humor. But anyway, I've ranted long enough. I do this sometimes for catharsis. Sometimes I do it because I think it has to be said. And sometimes I do it as a combination of three things. I feel it needs to be said. It's cathartic for me. And I know I'll get a bunch of people in the room. I'm guaranteed a good audience if I'm bitching and moaning. But if I was right now pushing Filbo Publishing Books, none of you would be here. How many of you, I'm going to ask an honest question, how many of you in that chat, and I know the answer to this, know about my books? How many of you have bought and read my books? I know you. I know all the people in this chat. I know who's supporting and doesn't. Out of the 300 or so people that back my books, I know every name. I know every one of them. I know every one of them. I see the name. I know that they backed. God's honest truth. So Yeah, what books? Greg is a loyal supporter. Greg buys everything. I've been called racist. I've been called misogynist. You know what's funny? I put up a review that the movie Prey. I felt that she was a Mary Sue. She didn't grow as a character. Everything came easy. It made no sense that 12-pound, 16-year-old girl could beat a predator when the predator had just killed a grizzly bear one-on-one. It made no sense to me, and she was unscathed. It made no sense to me. It was stupid. And I actually had people call me misogynist and come after me. And you know what my response was? Check out my book Tragedy if you feel I'm a misogynist. You know, the one with the female protagonist. That's how you write a female protagonist. I know how to write a female protagonist. Forgive me if that sounds arrogant. I do. Read Tragedy and you'll see. She's strong and flawed, and no, it doesn't come easy to her, but that's what makes her tough, because she has to struggle. She has to fight. She has to get up when she wants to lay down. You know? But, I'm not here to make anybody feel guilty. I'm just making a point. We're down to 14 people in the room. We had almost 30 before. Of those 30 people, how many do you think are here on a regular basis when I make a video? They're not. 6, 8? Car crash. He said rant. He's going on a rant. I love Phil's rants. You know how many people DM me? Dude, when you go on a rant, it's hilarious. I love it. And I get one person go, dude, you shouldn't do that. You're a publisher. You gotta keep the image. You gotta blah, blah, blah. You know what my image is? You know what my reputation is? I'm honest. I'm transparent. I'm truthful. Whether you work with me in business or you're my friend. Alex Sarabia lives in Mexico. He's an artist I represent. He just spent the weekend here with his brother, and he was family. And we were good with him. But I'm also honest with him. When Alex sometimes downs himself with his art, and I tell him to stop being stupid because he's great. And I don't sugarcoat. Yes, I'm very passionate. I'm passionate and I'm very loyal. I'm extremely loyal. And yeah, there are some topics I'll stay away from for the sake of not causing violence, or not violence, I mean controversy and everything, because I'm not looking to tank my business for nothing. If I'm going to tank it over principle, I'll do that. If I'm going to tank it just because I want to shoot out my opinion about politics or religion, no, that's just, I won't do that. Because you're not reaching anybody. Anybody who you think is foolish politically, no facts, no evidence, no video I show you is going to make you change your mind. It's not. We've become idiocracy. And people who don't believe in God and think he's a sky wizard are going to think that no matter what. And I'm not arrogant enough to think I speak for God. If God wants you to believe in God, God will present you in a situation that will wake you up. It's not my job. I'm here to be the best person I could be and give my faith and love to God. I'm not here to convince you of anything. So I won't. But I would like you to read my books. What are you looking at? You like this? That's pretty funny. You all right? Alex is amazing, and he's just leveling up. And you guys should check out Diary of Dread. The work he did in that, and Rod Rodolfo did in that, fantastic. And Gary Durant, fantastic work. But how many of you know about Diary of Dread? How many? How many of you are going to back it when it launches on Halloween? But you'll come out and you'll watch me rant and complain and moan. And you'll sit and watch the car crash, but you won't help me when I'm on the side of the road and my car is broken down. That's just facts. Be mad at me all you want. That's the freaking facts. Will is no longer with Legendary Illustrations, just so you know, on. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, the last thing I'm going to say is this. People don't understand why I'm speaking about the things I do. They assume I'm just thin-skinned and I'm mad because somebody called me a name. They don't understand. I am getting actually viciously attacked by people. My family is. My family, my business, and it is affecting us. We've been stalked and cyber stalked. My reputation, again, I beat my wife and kids, and it's been spread, and people have believed it. I've lost backers because of it. I have lost people at my conventions because of other gimmicks. I have, I've, I've, I've had people start questioning me because they're not sure what the truth is, and I will address that because I'm trying to build something, and I can't afford that. I should address that. And I will address my wife's honor every day of the week. So when someone comes on and says some really explicitly inappropriate things about my wife over a benign post I put up, you're damn right I'm going to address it. When they say I beat my wife, you're not just saying that I'm an abuser. You're saying my wife is weak and will take that. You're saying my wife is going to sit here and allow me to abuse her, that she doesn't think she deserves better. She's the classiest, most beautiful, most elegant woman in the world. I don't even deserve this woman. Okay? And she gave me the two most beautiful things in this world, my daughters. She's why I have a life. She's why I live this life. She's why I want to be the best man possible, her and these kids. So that's why I address this stuff. And the last reason why I address bad people is this. I'm not offended by you when you say stuff about me. I'm not offended by you being a jerk. I'm offended that I have to take away the innocence of my children because I have to have a conversation with this little girl here at 8 years old about how hard the world is because you people make it that way. That's why I resent you. I resent bad people because she can't live in a safe world because people are petty and mean and cruel. She has to learn at 8 years old. I know, but I was telling you at 8 years old how tough life is. I got to teach her to be tough at 8. I'm taking a sliver of her childhood away to prepare her for a life that is hard. And why is it hard, guys? It's not hard because of the good people. It's hard because of the bad people. You know, the ones you keep saying don't put your energy on, turn a blind eye to. You keep turning a blind eye and they keep getting empowered and they keep doing bad things and they make the world worse. And then while you're empowering them, you're going, man, the world sucks. That's why I resent bad people, because I have to steal her childhood because you don't know how to act. And I will always feel that way, whether you like me or hate me, buy my books or don't buy my books. My kids are always going to have to deal with that. What's up, Matthew? What's going on? So you take that however you want. I don't care. Because the people who know me truly, the people who love and respect me, they understand me. They know where I'm coming from, and they've got my back. Greg Johnston has my back. Charles W. Morgan, he knows me. He respects me. He understands where I'm coming from. And those people, even when they disagree with me, they disagree with me with respect. You remember, people do good things for only two reasons: consequence or conscience. And the people that act like jerks on Facebook and attack you, not react, attack you, they base their good behavior on consequence because there is none over the internet. People who act accordingly, who don't go after you, who don't try to hurt others when they could, act on conscience. Which one are you? Which one are you? Thank you, William. I appreciate you. You always do, and I appreciate that. Is it conscience or is it consequence? Because if it's consequence, just remember this. Those who do me wrong, I do conventions all over the country. I will see you at some point. There's no keyboard between us. My wife worries about that. But anyway, I'm not going to do that. I should get away from that. Look, we got to be better for each other, man. Stop being petty and jealous. We've got to be a better example for them. Look at her. She's this innocent, beautiful young girl. Done nothing wrong to anybody in this life, and she didn't ask to be brought into this world. The least we could do is give her a good world. I mean, why not? I love it more, Robert, if you bought any of my books. Life goes on. No, they're not worth your time, and you're right. But when they actually hurt my business and my reputation and they come after my family and stalk me, I have a problem that I have to address. But I will say this. If you didn't figure out who it was that called me earlier, you watched this earlier video, you probably will. If that person's still listening and watching, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you looking out for me. I appreciate that you felt the need to call me in the middle of your workday because you wanted to help me out and look out for my best interest. I appreciate you. We should have more people like that in this world. And to those of you who have done me wrong and continue to do me wrong, cover your ears for a minute. Kiss my ass. All right. That's my rant for an hour and a half. I feel so much better. Thank you for listening. I appreciate all the views that I got for ranting that I wouldn't get if I was publishing. Yes, I'm being sarcastic and a little passive aggressive. I admit it. But what I would ask you to do is after you watch this video, go to www.philboentertainment.com, PHILBO, and go buy my books and give them a try, even if it's the PDFs. I think you'll like them. There's no agenda. There's no preaching. You don't know my opinion on anything. I wrote quality stories that entertain with characters you can represent, that you can relate to and admire and appreciate. Characters that when they're falling, you feel that pain. And when they succeed, you're right there with them. Thank you, An. See, this is the stuff I'm talking about. I am a very grateful person. Matthew Cole, keep shining your light, bro. Keep up the good work. He doesn't have to say that. Thank you for that, Matthew. Bless you, says Saeed. Thank you for that. And then Anvu voluntarily puts up my website link. Thank you. You don't have to do that. Some people look at the value of something based on the impact it has. Well, only if a bunch of people go to the website do I care that she did that. No, I don't care if nobody goes to the website. An didn't have to do that. Matthew doesn't have to say that inspiring, motivational, positive stuff to me. Saeed doesn't have to say bless you. They don't have to do that. I don't care if it's a nickel or $5. If you give it to me, I'm grateful that you felt you wanted to do that for me. And we should be more grateful. Nobody owes us anything in this life. So I appreciate that. And you know what, An? I think you read the first 3 issues of Tragedy. Am I wrong? Tell me what you think of the book. Tell them. If you think it's good, tell them. If you don't, then you don't. You have toilet paper to last you a week. My books are good. They're written with heart. They're written with passion. They're written the way they should. Papa, the book I just wrote that I'm hoping to produce for the person in my life that means the world to me and is sick, and I'm hoping they can see this book in time. Everybody tells me it's written like a Silver Age or Bronze Age book, and it is good, and they really like it. But don't listen to me. Go find out. Go buy the damn books. Neil George, I only read the first. Haven't liked a comic like that in a long time. See, thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that. And look, I know some people don't have money. It's hard. They can't afford to buy the books, but they wish they could. I understand. I know who those people are. But I do know the people that are pretending to do the bare minimum to act like they're supporting me when they really want to see me fail. I know who you are. I know who you are. You're going to work. It's that late. So the beautiful angel that I am married to is going back to work. Here. All right. You can't see her. You can't see her. I love you. I hope it goes quick and smooth. I hope it goes quick and smooth here, okay?
Thanks. Have a good night.
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm just tired. I'm tired.
Well, hey, when you get home, we'll have food and we'll get some rest. See you later. You know, you look pretty good for a woman I beat. See you later. Yeah. And the funny thing is, you see how shy my wife is. She doesn't like to be on camera because she's actually a very humble, modest woman. She looks like a supermodel if you've seen my Facebook picture, but she's very humble. She doesn't have, she doesn't do Facebook or anything, and she doesn't do selfies and all that stuff. But when they were accusing me of beating her, she wanted to go on and do a video to debunk it because it was affecting me. And I told her, don't make yourself uncomfortable for that, because the truth is they're going to believe what they want to believe, and they'll just say I put her up to it. So What's up, Jacob? Yeah, yeah. I've heard that. Thank you, Scarlet Angel. I appreciate that. Aaron, Phil, for crying out loud, I can't read. Jonathan Syfax. Let me tell you something about Jonathan Syfax to the people who call me racist. Jonathan was at a show, and my youngest is a lot like me. She'll just keep talking and talking and talking like I do, you know? And she's very passionate like me, you know? She's a real character. And like me, she's very sweet, but if you piss her off, she has a bad temper, right? She's like me. It's not a violent temper, but she's a barker, you know, like me. Where this one's a lot more like mommy, you know, she's a little more reserved. She'll sit back, watch, study, you know, less impulsive. And my daughter just started talking Jonathan's ear off about stories that she came up with and ideas, and she's just going and going. And he stood there and he listened to everything she said, and he was actually invested in her and listening, and he was real cool with her, and he was real, and he said he was inspired by her, and he made her feel great. And let me tell you something. When you're good with my kids, you are aces with me. Even if you don't like me, you're good to my kids, you're aces with me, man. And Jonathan Syfax, I hope I pronounced that right, man, was so good to my kids. He's truly a good human being. I appreciate you. Hey, brother, what's up? A man is measured by the legacy he leave you, and my friend, with your art, your spirit, and your great family, especially two great talents that is going to change the world for the better, is one heck of a legacy to leave you and your family rock. See, I mean, that's really kind to say that he would say something like that, you know? I mean, that someone would feel that way, I appreciate. I do. I do. And he's one of those people that knows I'm not a negative person, but I will call out when it's necessary. People who don't know me are casting aspersions or making assumptions, you know, and they only respond to my negative posts, which just proves my point. So, Jonathan, God bless you, man. I wish you well. Thank you for all your support, all your kind words, how great you are with my kids. Maybe someday George will stop ducking me and we'll go out and get dinner. See you, An. By the way, An, you didn't drop any links to what you're doing. An Vu is an incredibly talented artist, but she's more than that. She's a kind soul. She's a good person. She's a smart individual. She has a great work ethic. She's extremely reliable. She's affordable. She's the entire package that you would want as a publisher to do work. I do not represent her, so I get nothing for this. I'm just being honest. Go check out An Vu. She lives in Hawaii. If you see any shows that she'll be at, go see her. If you want to look at her work, she does paintings, she does traditional pencil and ink. She can give you interiors or she can give you covers, and either way, you're going to be very happy with what you get. So please go check out An Vu. While you're at it, Jacob Bear, he's actually in distribution in comic stores right now under Antarctic Press, under one of their books. They have anthologies. And he also has his own line of books. Some are parody and anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic. And Jacob has a lot of good stuff out of Arizona. Go check out Jacob Bear's company. Jacob, drop your links, please. All right, so An is on hiatus because she's so busy with work, but go check it out. You can always follow her, and when she's ready for commissions, you can go get them. But check out Jacob. Check out An. You know, there's a lot of Angel Manuel Lopez was here. Check him out. Antarctic Press, Exciting Comics 41, now in previews. Tell your comic store you want that book to support Jacob. Jacob is like me and so many others. He's just grinding and busting his butt, doing what he loves. He's writing comics for the love of comics, not the money of comics, because God knows we don't make it, for the love and the passion. Make his dream come true. Go tell him you want Antarctic Press Exciting Comics 41. It's in previews. The comic stores order it if you tell them you want to buy a copy. Tell your local store. Antarctic Press is the publisher, and Exciting Comics is the title of the book, and issue 41. Okay? AP, Antarctic Press, Exciting Comics 41. It's now in previews. If you own a store, give it a serious, solid look. It's there for a reason. Antarctic Press is working with him for a reason. It's quality. Go check it out. All right. Rodney and Jacob, you can drop links. as well, guys, please do, anything I talk about, no matter what the topic is, feel free to drop links. For everybody that does promote me and support me, for everyone that takes the time to actually know me and judge me based on who I actually am, thank you. To those of you who read my books and feel they inspire you and enjoy the stories, thank you. For those of you who take the time to listen to my rants and then laugh with me about it later, thank you. For those of you who look out for me and my best interests, thank you. For those of you who don't, I'm going to leave you with what I always leave you with. Be legendary and have fun storming the castle.